You can't find anything in Joann's. I mean, sometimes you can if you ask someone, but usually you just want some self service. Hi, and welcome to Quilt Meets World, where we have adventures in piecing and joy. I'm Russ. Come on into my sewing room. This week at work was a little insane. The giant dumpster fire of a project that we have going on is blazing brighter and brighter. There's things that are coming up this week from the business users that our team said, we said this months ago, but did anybody listen? Nope. So it's going to be interesting what this coming week is going to have when everything is supposed to wrap up. I don't have high hopes. Percy and Riley, they were their usual selves this week. Got a couple cute pictures of them throughout the week. Riley got a bath at daycare this past Friday. And of course, on Saturday, she spent our walks just rubbing herself into the grass to try to get that smell off of her. Such a silly puppers. Saturday morning was Saturday sampler at my local quilt shop. I didn't get the binding done on the quilt that I was planning, so I didn't have show and tell. I felt like such a slacker. But, sometimes with the way that work and everything goes, I don't quite get it done. I'm actually blaming the whole quilt show thing because I had to work on extra things for that quilt instead of new projects. So it is what it is. Today, I got to go shopping though. Next week, Stephanie of Quilting with Stephanie Stitches and Shannon of Slay Arts are hosting a virtual retreat. I signed up for it and I had to go out and hunt down some materials for the retreat projects. Unfortunately, one of the items that I need for Shannon's project wasn't available at the Joann's closest to me, and I had to go all the way up to Alpharetta to get it. It's some vinyl mesh, which most quilt shops usually don't carry, and she recommended this one specifically because of its sturdiness. And I'm like, if it's going to be a bag, I want to make it awesome. So I went up to Alpharetta. I got there and I was just browsing through the aisles trying to figure out where vinyl mesh would be at your store. I even pulled up the app and I can find it on the app, but I can't find it in the store. And the app only lets you order a minimum of 1 yard, and I only needed a half a yard. So there was no point in me spending twice as much as I needed to in order to take that convenience. Finally, I got bored looking around, so I went up to an employee and said, "Hey, do you know where I can find this?" Where she's like, "Is that our app?" And I was like, "Of course, I'm not going to be mean and make you find something that I already know that you don't have or anything like that." So I did what I could to help her. She pulled out her little scanner thing and typed in the item number, and she goes, "It's in home deck." Now, why I heard the word deck as in the thing that's in the back of the house instead of deck as in decor is beyond me. But once I was unconfused for it, when my brain finished translating it, I was like, oh, I get it. So she goes, "It looks like it's back here on the back wall." And sure enough, it was. It was not with other stuff that I would have thought it would have been near, but, I have now learned. So when I decide to make my next bag, I know where to go find it in that Joann's. Maybe my local Joann's will actually get it in stock. So I found that, and I found everything else for the projects, and I got out of Joann's by saving about as much money as I spent. How that's an awesome business policy for them, I don't know, but it just really goes to show how much of a markup they really do on some of their stuff in order to let you get out of there at basically 50% off. In other news, I had a ton of videos come out this week. I think Friday was the only day that you didn't get anything from me, and it's mostly because I was exhausted from the work week. Since I put out my last vlog, you've had 9 videos of quilts from the quilt show. And then on Wednesday evening, I was on with my friends Stephen, Walter, Shannon, and Stephanie over there on Stephanie's channel for the latest installment of the Social Review. We talked about our summer sewing plans and a couple other topics. I am putting a link down in the description below if you happen to miss that. It was a lot of fun. Thursday, I put out a video of the judges' comments on my quilt and also my reaction to my first quilt show that I've ever entered. It was a fun video to put together, and I think you should go watch it if you haven't already. And by the way, while I'm talking about the quilt show, I created a Google photo album of all the pictures that I took at the show. I forgot to mention in that video, so I will have the same link in the description below here if you're interested. It's going to be the same pictures that are in those 9 videos, but you can browse at your own pace, and you can actually zoom in a bit closer so that you can see some of the quilting on your favorite quilts to give you more inspiration. On Saturday morning, I did my 11Zs live. I took a couple cuts of fabric that my sister had sent me and made yet another 10-minute table runner. She needs one more now, and that's going to be Christmas, and I have Christmas fabric somewhere for it. I just got to figure out what I did with it. Historically, they've taken me about 45 minutes each, but this time I managed to get it done in about 35, so I was impressed with myself. I don't think I will ever make it down to the full 10 minutes that the pattern advertises, but it's still a little bit better. Maybe if I can get it down to like 30 or 25, then it can become fully assembly line. Then I spent the afternoon on my friend Steven of the Idiot Quilters pop-up sew day. He hosts a Zoom every now and then, and it's a lot of fun. You get to sew with friends, and it's not broadcast anywhere. It's just a private Zoom event. So if you want to know more about it, he will post anytime that he's about to have one on his channels and post links to them as they come available. And then Saturday evening, as if there wasn't enough that happened, my friend Stephanie of Stephanie Stitches, I went on her live and we sewed up the first month of the Bumbleberry Pie block of the month. It is a quilt kit or block of the month designed by Nancy McNally, and it features the Bumbleberries collection from Lewis and Irene. I managed to get a couple blocks completely done. They're 6-inch stair step blocks, I think they're called. And then I have a whole pile over here that I need to get finished. Just because we were on for about an hour. Stephanie needed to make sure that she got her dinner done before another event later in the evening. So how she managed to get all the blocks done, I don't know. But I do know that she sews at 6,000 stitches per second. She's speedy with her stuff. I'm always amazed at how fast she gets her stuff done. So yeah, even though I had a crazy week at work, I got a lot of stuff done this weekend. I get to have Wednesday off, so I figured I should put some gullifications out there, even though the 4 days that I'm going to be on are going to be a mess. First, I'm going to need to find some time or find some stickers to put on my fabric for labels. With the Bumbleberry Pie kit, there's a bunch of fabrics that, like, there's like two different shades of purple, three different shades of blue, and I managed to figure out what I needed for the first block. But as I'm going to get through, I have a bad feeling that I'm going to forget which color is which, and I don't want to get them mixed up because if you do and you run out of fabric, there's no helping. I know that Art East Quilting Company has some labels, but they are currently out of stock. So I need to find a decent alternative that I can find that they're not too sticky and will come out clean and everything until, the Art East stuff becomes available. Number two, I need to get binding done on the quilt that I was supposed to have been done for Saturday Sampler Show and Tell. At least this way, if I can get the binding done, I will be ahead of the game. And then, if I get more quilts on the long arm, then maybe I can get a little bit closer. Speaking of the long arm, I'm hoping that I might have some time to get another quilt up on there and quilted. I'm really hoping for the Fort Worth Fabric Studio Sunshine on My Mind table runner because I know that I have enough binding for that. And I have all the fabrics everywhere, and it's going to be a quick and easy put on there with the size of it. So hopefully I can get it on there and get it sewn. Wednesday would probably be the best day for that, but I also have a haircut schedule that day in the middle of the day, so we will see if it actually happens. And then finally, I have Stephanie and Shannon's retreat on Sunday, so I need to make sure everything is all ready for that. I have the fabrics purchased, I have all the materials ready. I just need to wait for the cutting instructions to arrive and start cutting. I think they're going to arrive Friday evening, I think the email said. So that gives me Saturday to get everything cut up for two projects. So that's going to be a lot of fun. That is the biggest thing that I need to make sure I get done. And thankfully, that's going to be done on Saturday. So I think that is going to be about it for today. You guys are rock stars for listening to me ramble about my weekly shenanigans. If you wouldn't mind giving the YouTube algorithm a little bit of love, I would greatly appreciate it as it helps my channel grow. You can do that by commenting, liking, smacking the subscribe button, or eating a handful of M&Ms, whatever you prefer. If you ring the bell icon next to the subscribe button, you will be notified when I go live on Saturday mornings and when I publish my weekly vlogs. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and an awesome week. Until next time, stay happy and keep stitching.